Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Build and Banter, the unofficial official podcast of PROTEOR. I'm your host, Mike Gorski.
I'm your co-host, Ryan Beenders.
I'm also your co-host, Antonio Bova.
And I'm here. I'm Martin Astor.
Woo! Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you coming back for episode 2 of season 2, and we have a lot to fill you in on. We've had a couple wild past few days, or even past few weeks, would you say?
Definitely.
Yeah, we've been all over the place, traveling, getting around. You and I recently went to Japan for a week-long trip to set up an ICARUS Lite there in Japan at PROTEOR Japan, and then also go to JSPO over in Niigata, Japan.
That was a great time.
That was quite the experience.
I've never been to Kobe, Japan. I've never been to Japan ever in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing the culture, the people, the amount of respect that they have for anybody in the country, like just the country itself, the culture is through the roof. Everybody is super nice. And seeing their reaction to 3D printing, it was crazy to see. Like, again, we do this every day, so we're a little numb to that, right? But seeing the people at PROTEOR in Japan, when they see the 3D printers and you meet these patients at these shows and other processes saying, wow, this could revolutionize my clinic, change the way I operate. Again, it's just eye-opening. It's a good refresher for us to say, like, wow, we're like changing the world with our technology.
Was there any digital there, like at all?
There was one digital company there. They were a 3D printing company, but they're a pellet-based company. And so, again, pros and cons, right? You know, you don't want to say anything bad about pellet printers, bad about filament printers, but everything has its pros and cons. I would say I think ours is easier. Of course, I'm biased in saying ours is easier to use, but we also do pellet printing here. We know the horrors of pellet printing. It's not this utopia that many people think it is.
Yeah, no, that's bad.
And also, you know, materials as well. When you're trying to pellet print and you have a pellet dryer hooked up to your machine, it really limits what you can do. Even just surface moisture on the pellets, that's going to impact how you operate. Yep. That's one of the reasons why we have a filament maintainer and a dry environment for it, right? But I think for Japan, two things opened up my eyes in Japan that I thought were really interesting. One, the need for TLSOs. I did not know that Japan, you know, had such a demand for spinal correction. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that?
No, I had no idea.
I don't know why there's such a high demand for spinal correction, but there is. And so the fact that we were able to print like small TLSOs and show people there like, wow, you can 3D print TLSOs, and it's interesting because we also sell carvers as well, and carvers are perfect for TLSOs, but I believe the 3D printing gives you a little more customization in what you can do, and having our customers see, wow, you can print this, different polypropylenes, right, different densities, a thick polypropylene for a firm one, a soft polypropylene for more of a bendable TLSO. That was really neat. I mean,
well, like 3D printing, sorry to cut you off, but 3D printing, you get the variable thickness instead of like the carvers where it's just you're draping and you kind of have like one overall thickness.
Right,
so
exactly.
The customization's there.
Exactly, sure. Exactly. And Ryan, you got to say the PROTEOR team in Japan, they really ran with everything.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like we got there day one, we unboxed it, they had their cameras, they had their notes out there, taking notes, taking videos. But then day two, the real training began, and they picked up on it. I mean, faster, honestly, than anybody in our shop. Like these guys, they had a little experience 3D printing on like, you know, your desktop type of machines, like your kind of like at home like maker machines, right?
Right.
So like, but they picked up on it so quickly. They dove into it head first, and when we left the shop, they were there for like another 3 hours, just like playing around, printing. They ran an overnight print on like their second day. They put a lot of trust in us to teach them, but they also like they have a lot of faith and trust in the printer itself after 48 hours of actually using the machine.
Yeah, probably about 2 days.
Yeah. So it was amazing to see how quickly they were able to pick up on the machine.
Yeah. And it wasn't even just when you and I were in Japan that we had a lot going on. I mean, I think all of the PROTEOR Print division has a lot going on because we launched in Japan that week.
Yes.
But we also launched in the Middle East that week as well.
Yes, we did, yeah.
Because we had our sales rep in the Middle East, Tariq. We had, I forget the exact name. It was a medical alliance association, but they had a large congress/show in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia. And we sold a machine there as well. So it's awesome seeing PROTEOR Print, being active now in Japan. Now we're in the Middle East. And now you guys as well, Antonio and Marty, you guys had a heck of a trip at the same time we had our trip in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about what happened to you guys that week?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we started off, there was a smaller, tri-state area show up in New Jersey, in Atlantic City. So we went there. It was super great. I think next year we can get, a full digital booth there to show, not just the components, but the end-to-end solution. I think that'd be really good because we were there kind of, as the 3D printing division, and we were limited to what we can show people. But everybody loved the samples that we brought up. Everybody, they heard. It's crazy how many people actually hear about Chiron Max and CPX Chiron Max and stuff like that. Just coming up. Oh, is this that Chiron Max material? We see posts about it. We hear people using it. Tony was great. Tony was up there. He got us a couple connections with just some people at the show. Yeah, overall it was great. And then we actually drove from Atlantic City up to Boston for a Ukrainian conference, which was super eye-opening. I mean, we hear the stories that you say when you come back, but seeing all the work people were doing and are doing in Ukraine, and kind of just it was crazy to see all the facial reconstruction surgeries and the how prosthetics are really affecting Ukraine and 3D printing, and it was just
the overall need for all of it.
It was insane.
We were surrounded by some of the smartest people I've ever met in my life.
honestly.
It was amazing to see everyone come together, though, for just a mutual cause. Everyone just trying to help Ukraine. So it was awesome to be able to be a part of that and be able to assist in the way that we're assisting. So it was great just having everyone in that same room, all helping Ukraine.
And that's why I'm glad you guys went to the conference, because I can only tell so many stories. And eventually you're probably oh, God, another story. I don't want to hear another story from blah, 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 blah. I'd be the same way. I get it. So the fact that you guys were able to go there, network with these organizations directly, and see what was happening, probably wow, all right, man, we're gonna get Ukraine on digital. We're gonna get them printing. So I'm happy. I'm really glad that you guys went.
It was.
I'm happy with you too.
Yeah, it was eye-opening, and we're not even in the country. We're just seeing what these organizations are doing, and we're like, holy crap! That's a lot of work, and it's not. They're small teams. People are going on mission trips or 3-month trips, or bringing just surgeons they know for free. Right? They're just asking their friends, like, hey, can you come out and help? Some of them are just doing it.
Yeah.
Just for free, going out and helping. It was really eye-opening, and the fact that a couple individuals up there at the conference already kind of knew what we did, and they're glad we came, for the 3D printing side and the digital side of helping Ukraine. It was really good.
Well, and I think we're really fortunate too that there really is a lot of good people in this world. And people get a bad rap in general.
Yeah.
Just people in general, right? We don't need to go into details, but people just get a bad rap. But when you have good people coming together, for the conference that you guys saw, it reminds you that, some people don't need to get paid. There doesn't need to be money. They just need to do it out of the kindness of their heart. And it reminds you that we're in a great industry. There's good people in this world. There's people going to Ukraine for free. I used to go for free myself, personal dime, just the right thing to do. And there's people out there that do that. And it's good that you guys got to experience, hey, there's good people in this world. They just want to help.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
3D printing as a whole was affecting Ukraine in more of a negative way, and just because it was done wrong. Speaking with a couple individuals up at the conference, they knew kind of already about us, and they knew how we're doing it right. We're doing it in the States. We're doing it in our own country. We have the data to back it up. They're like, we wish we knew you guys sooner. In a T, right? They're like, we wish we went with you guys sooner. We wish we heard about you sooner. It just, the time wasn't the time, I guess. When they originally got dropped in Ukraine, 3D printers. But
it's hard because it's a very small industry. There's not millions of manufacturers of 3D printers out there, and especially in the orthotics and prosthetics market, it's even smaller. And we've seen what happens we're not going to say names. We've seen what happens when you drop printers in Ukraine and they go, all right, see ya, bye. And it gives it a bad rep. People don't know how to operate the machines. They don't know how to scan and modify for 3D printing. They don't know what materials do what. You don't want to take a PETG check socket and say, hey, here's your prosthetic socket, and try to say it's definitive, and then you cause more pain for the patient. Patient falls, it cracks. Now you're doing patient harm here. We're trying to correct that. Yep. And we're trying to correct that. That's one of the reasons why we do our own material science, material development, our own analytical testing on the materials as well. The final 3D printed product is tested to make sure it's safe when it goes into the field, because we want to do it correctly, because you only get one shot. And there are some companies out there that, sure, they got printers in Ukraine. Absolutely, they did. Not sure how efficient it is. Not the rumblings are not good. No. they're not good. No. So that's why we want to just take it a little slower.
Yep.
And not even slow. We don't
just
want
do it right.
Do it correct.
We don't want to drop a ton of them in and just walk away. We want to have a slow, controlled rollout.
Proper training,
right.
Proper execution.
Get them everything they need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say anything yet, but I can say that we're actively trying to have physical presence in the country as well, where people can go and get trained. And I think that goes a long way to showing PROTEOR's commitment to this effort.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's the way you got to do it, Have someone that can be there to train individuals and expand the knowledge, and then you're having individuals train other individuals, and it kind of just cycles, but
exactly.
It's done right.
Just got to put the time in to
right.
begin with to
right.
get to that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's we're gonna do it right.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it right. Then it's a good thing, because I think from what I'm seeing, PROTEOR is the only company doing it correctly. And I'm not even saying because we're part of PROTEOR, but it's controlled, it's factual, it's backed by science, and let's make sure we're helping people.
I mean, and that all starts internally with PROTEOR as well. I mean, the team that we've come on to over this past year has been tremendous. They've helped out a lot. And it starts with that foundation, and we're hoping that getting these printers into Ukraine, the Middle East, Japan, everywhere that we're putting it, it all starts with our foundation. Because if we put things in there, put printers where they need to be, and they don't have the right support, they don't have the right materials to understand what they're doing, it all falls from there. So we have to start with our foundation, which we have over this past year. I mean, since we were FI, we were doing that. But starting with that foundation, it can be that snowball effect of, especially like in Ukraine, we can go there, which you guys are going there in, a week, 2 weeks. Go there, train the people that are using the printers, and then those people can then train more people. And it's just a snowball effect, and hopefully a good one, going forward.
Yeah, and I'll definitely have more information to share on our brick-and-mortar presence in Ukraine next few weeks. It's one of the reasons why I'm heading over to France next week to button up some loose ends and
little end-of-year announcement,
perhaps.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Nice.
I think we'll be able to do it, and PROTEOR will be the first.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be big. Do it right, have the right customer support, right materials, right machines. It's not even just, I think people forget how important customer service is. I really, really do. And that's why I'm glad we did our own operating system. I'm glad that's why we have cloud-based connectivity in these machines now. So if someone's having an issue, they can contact us. Yeah. And I think that's huge. Because a lot of these machines just run offline mode, which we can do. We can run offline for security reasons. That's fine. But when you need help, how do I get help? Yeah. Especially in a war-torn country. As long as you have an internet connection, we can remote into your printer. We can see what's going on. Yep. If they choose, right? Yeah. If they choose. But we have that option. We have that in our back pocket to make sure they have the least amount of downtime as possible.
I mean, we have the option of slicing for them and even throwing the G-code on the machine if they need it, right? So, like, hey, this print didn't work out. I got to run, but we really need this printed. Can you guys slice this and help out? Of course we're going to help out. So we have a lot of options to make sure whoever's using our machines is successful. Either they want the customization and they want to do their own slicing and kind of put their own little settings into it, that's fine. Or if they just want to be as close to hands-off as possible, where it's just load material and go, we have that option too. So, yeah, I think the way we're doing it is right, and it's funny to see, not funny, but it's funny to see how, like, people around, even at the Atlantic City show, like, they knew. They're like, oh my gosh, we knew you as FI, we know your machines. Like, it's just cool to see that over time.
Full circle moment.
Yeah, the full circle moment. We're like, oh yeah, we know you, you're part of PROTEOR now, but we saw your machines 2-3 years ago, what changed? And we're like, hey, we're really tailored to the O&P industry now. This is what's changed. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah, I think we get a little stuck in our bubble here at our shop in Pennsylvania sometimes. And then when we go on these trips and talk to other people, it's a little bit of a shock and just be like, oh, crap, that's right.
Oh, I emailed you.
He was like, oh, yeah, we've talked before.
Yeah.
You guys do know what we're doing. But, we hope that this podcast, whatever we're doing, we can spread that message and show people more and more kind of what we're doing, honestly, now across the world.
Yeah. I mean, guys, it's a big world out there. I mean, that was a big week for us, the other week. I mean, Japan, Japan, we're in now. Middle East, we launched in. You guys, the New Jersey AOPA chapter for the tri-state area, the special conference for Ukraine up in, it was Boston, right?
Yeah,
Boston.
Yep. Which you guys linked up with Maria.
Yep.
We
did
well.
link up with
Yeah,
Maria. It was right in her backyard, so we told her come by. She actually knew a couple of people there.
That's awesome.
Which is cool to see, just connect.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to Ukraine next week, or a week and a half. Yeah. So it's been a busy couple months, but
we're on the move. I mean, we're growing this quickly into a global force, and I think that's awesome. In the small time we've done this, I mean, I'll personally say I think we've done a lot in a small time. We've shown how serious PROTEOR is, and we're not going to stop.
100%. And
Awesome.
It's great to be able to help people all over the world.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that wraps it up for the second episode of season 2. What do you think?
Short and sweet. I think that was perfect.
Yeah.
Short and sweet. Any closing notes before we do our signature sign off?
I don't think so, man. I think when we come back,
I think everybody's a little tired, so we're all in a little bit of a haze. Now we're traveling again.
I think when we come back from our trip, we'll have some more to talk about, and
for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Donate to Maria Yelizarova.
Let's raise some money for some awesome printers for Ukraine.
Yeah.
All right. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us for episode 2, season 2 of the Build and Banter podcast by PROTEOR. We thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Peace.